we go. What's good, everybody? What's good, YouTube? It's the Odd Pilot, your neighborhood nerd, also known as I Will Create, and I'm here just to do a studio tour for you. 2020 was a great year. I'm hoping I got audio. Looks like I got audio. Let me just check it real quick because I don't want to not give you exactly what you're here for. So give me 1 second. Cool. All right. 2020 was a great year for me creatively. Now I know it's been a struggle, you know, socially, just being in a pandemic does make your reach a little bit limited. So, one thing though, that take it for what it is, my routine before the pandemic was pretty dead damn similar. I've always spent crazy amounts of time in the studio. I'm talking 10, 12, 16 hours. And it's mostly because this is a place that my mind feels calm. This is a place where I don't have obsessive compulsive thoughts all the time. When I'm focused on music, I have a hyper focus on music. That keeps everything else from being a distraction. That's always been my therapy. That's the best way I can describe it. Is I saw a really good movie. I recommend it to anybody. Soul. It actually was on Disney Plus. But, very cool movie because they talk about being in the zone. They talk about like how you're always striving to get to a goal, to a place, but you don't enjoy the journey. 2020 was all about enjoying the journey for me, about having fun, lifting the expectations that I had for myself to be way up here when reality says I've only been learning music production since late 2016. So however many years that is, 3 or 4 years, not saying that I didn't have studio equipment, but I was not invested in the process at all. I had an MPC 1000 and a Goodwill keyboard and something I got from Craigslist. You can find that video. It's the very first video on my page. But I've come a long way and I've learned a lot. So coming from that to being able to, create music live, I had to learn all this stuff. So let me just show you guys the studio, and then I got another stream right after this. We're gonna get busy with some rare vinyl that I got, and it's very dope. So anyway, let's go ahead. If you're into studio gear, I'm sure you're gonna like this. So let me spin this camera around. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Let me try to bring the color, the brightness back a little. And I'll even talk about my computer. I'm just trying not to blind you guys. It's so bright. Okay, let's try that. All right. So, actually, let me change the angle on this one. Oh, shit. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. Let me see if I can fix. Right. Now let me adjust. This is the camera I wanted. This is the wide angle. So I want to be able to make sure you guys can see it properly. And it keeps auto locking on me for the exposure. I hate that. But it is what it is. Always got stuff to mess with, right? Alright. So 2021, this is my studio. And I was joking yesterday on IG. You can find me at I Will Create, EYEWILLCREATE. But I was joking yesterday that I don't even know what I was joking about because this thing got in my way. All right. It's hard to get studio pics, so it's easier just to do like a little video, right? So this is my computer. I'm not sure how well you can see that. This is gonna screw up my light again, but it's all good. Okay, let me just adjust this. I think I can do it in here. Come on, you turd. Let's try that. It's a thing trying to manage all these different mediums, you know? All right, so this is my computer. It's very dark, I know. Try to back up, maybe you can see it better. Okay, it's a i9 9900K Intel. It's got a Evo. It's got an Evo, like a solid state for the flash memory. It's like 256. It's got 32 gigabytes of RAM, and it's got a terabyte SSD as storage, and a 2 terabyte hard disk for storage. So Allen and Heath Q32. This is the mixer of my dreams. You can see all the inputs and outputs. Got mixes for days. It's a little dark. Let's see if I can bring it on this side. There, it's a little bit better. So we got 38 inputs, and it's got like 32 outputs, I believe, and lots of mixes. So my streaming, this is my streaming hub. So this is, you guys are seeing you guys, I guess. We've got an APC40 MK2 for when I'm doing some of my mixing in Ableton. Much easier to use something like this than the mouse for me. I got the push also. I've had this when I started my stuff at Berkeley. The push came in really, really handy. So this is the VR1HD. This is the streaming switcher. So you plug in your HDMI sources, and then you can switch them. I've only got 2 set up right now because I don't need any more than that at the moment. So my drum set, this I bought used, and you can tell this is just a drum set. It's nothing spectacular. It's got duct tape all over it. It's got moon gel all over it. It's tuned with toilet paper. I tuned everything myself, so I had to learn about all this stuff. I had to learn about how to, you know, tighten up your snare properly, and just how to tune all the drums just using this. So that took me several months. I've got the 2K XL. Got a Digitone. You know, it's pretty dark over here. But key step. We've also got the S2000. I don't know if you can hear me. We got a little crappy keyboard over here from Goodwill. And yeah, so you know what? I can turn this light on. There, that helps quite a bit. Cool. Yep, so that's this side, plus we've got all the vinyls. And yeah, so if there's anybody here and you have any questions, let me know. So one of my cameras, and this thing is ringing, so hold on. It's ringing every time I talk. So this is one of my cameras. This is a Canon 80D. And that's giving you this shot. So I have another camera that goes up here that I swing over to get my overhead shots. My microphone, best here, but it can be put away. My, let me get this backward. Sorry if that's loud. There we go. All right, so my little turntable. This is just a portable joint, one that you can plug in and then charge it up. So this is the vinyl we'll be using. Got the duster, keep everything kind of clean. My hourglass, which is about 4 hours actually. It's a 4-hour glass. Got the Prophet 6 module. We got the MS-20 Mini, one of the dopest pieces of kit in my setup. We've got the Prophet Rev 2. Another one of the dopest pieces I have. We've got Mini Nova. Love it. The Deluge. If I got a fire, I can only grab one thing. That's what I'm grabbing. People are confused by that statement, but it's true. The Force. Lovely little unit. Been using it a lot lately. And let me shed a little light on that. There we go. Cool. My iPad, which there you guys are. Controls my whole studio, all the way from the lights to the cameras to everything. My mixer, everything is all controlled wirelessly by my iPad over my Wi-Fi connection. My modular, had this built in Italy. This is a custom build. Guy is on Etsy and he's super dope, but I put the lights on because honestly, it's not about aesthetics, even though they do change color, which I can show you now. It's really about being able to see. There we go. We got red, yellow, green, blue, purple, but I typically just keep it on white. Because that's what I can see the best. Next up, yeah, well, we got the modular stuff. We've got all kinds of dope modules that are perfect for me. I tried to pick modules that would mimic my bigger setup. So I run a lot of audio back and forth, you can see here, these are all my cables that run from the back. Now you guys have never seen this stuff before. So these are all my cables that have to go around into the mixer. And I got more here. This is the part you guys never see, is how much work this is. Cables are expensive. The longer they get, the more expensive they are. So each one of these cables is about 25 bucks. You can do the math. I don't buy shitty cables because I have nice equipment. So if you have nice equipment, you probably want to get nice cables. MPCX. I never thought I would buy another MPC. After the MPC 1000, I went to the Push 2. And I was just loving it. I was loving Ableton. I was loving everything about it. And when this dropped, I had a moment where I was just like, you know what? It has a huge screen. So if you go back and watch my first videos, you'll see that I customized my MPC 1000 so I could see it better. My eyes are bad. You guys know that. If you know me, you know that. But I mainly got it for the screen, and then I fell in love with it. I use it live, but it doesn't really work live. You have to do some things to make it work. So the way I use it is probably very different. The way I use it on a regular basis is probably different than a lot of people do, but I do use it in a traditional way. I make beats. So, yeah. Where are we at? Yeah, I mean, besides the stuff that I don't have out, which I'm not going to go into all the shit that I have because that's not what this is about. That's pretty much everything. And so, yeah, hey, what's up, Bobcat? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. You know, I can talk a little bit about the software stuff. So, that's getting super washed out. But let me flip this mic around, and I'll talk to you about this a little bit. Okay, I hope that's not too bad. Looks pretty close. Yeah, it's a difficult thing trying to balance all these images. You know, like you're trying to match several different colors, and it is, you know, it's definitely I don't know if I would call it a talent, but it's definitely an art form. And I need to mark which side of this microphone is forward because I keep on forgetting if that's the front or if that's the front. That's the front. All right, cool. Okay, so try to talk into this thing, you know, rather than having it to my back. I'm getting there. It takes some time. Okay. So, let's talk about the software real quick. All right, so I've got OBS. So OBS is your streaming platform. So OBS is there. I can see my bro, Bobcat. Good to see you, my man. Yeah, I love it too. So OBS is how you can combine all your sources. So when you got an audio source like a mixer and you got a video source like a camera or the switcher, you can combine those sources in these scenes. So you set up a scene, you add the camera, you add the audio, and if you have more than one scene, then you can actually set up a key on your laptop or on your keyboard to switch between the scenes back and forth. You can also set it up so you got text. So I got some text that's pretty much ready as I need it. But there is a learning curve with that, only because you got to think about like the streaming, like the what do they call it? I don't even know. It's like bit depth, or I can't remember what they call it for streaming. But you got to have like a minimum. So you got to make sure your requirements meet your capabilities of your computer. So because I've got the i9 9900 processor with plenty of RAM and everything, I can push the stream. I can push Ableton if I want it, and I can push the mixer and everything all at the same time and not really have any problems. But I do have a spare laptop that I use occasionally because sometimes it is too much to try to do all this stuff at the same time. So that's OBS. I kind of oversimplified it, but if you guys want me to talk more about any of this stuff, you got to leave me a comment so I know. I'm trying to dial in my audience, so I need to know what it is you're interested in so we can find out if we have common ground. I don't want to discuss things that are not interesting to me, but if they're interesting to you, then I'll go in depth if it's interesting to me as well. So now on this side, you can see I've got YouTube. That just lets me watch to see if there's anybody here or if there's a comment. I got comments on OBS as well, but I can see myself and I can see the stream. Most of the time, I don't know when there's a problem and somebody has to tell me, which I do very much appreciate, but a lot of times it's too late. Like the problem has already happened and I haven't noticed it. So now I use Ableton. I use this broadcast hardware broadcast piece. This is the Roland VR1 HD. Came with its own software, so you can actually just record if you want and upload. They have better ones than this out now that are a third or a quarter of the price. So I wouldn't recommend buying this. That was like $1,500. But you can get something with more inputs, with more functionality for like $300. Roland makes another really dope one. So, I mean, that's pretty much the computer side of things. I've got plenty of monitors, but it's basically just so I can see it better. And I don't really use the MPC software. Although I've heard that it can, you can use it pretty well with like CV and stuff. But I just never liked the software. I never liked that it didn't feel the same as the hardware. It feels like a totally different medium. Like the stuff isn't in the same place. You got to kind of learn the whole thing. But yeah, that's it. So now, unless there's anything anybody wants from me, I'm going to shut this down, and then we're going to listen to some vinyl and do some creative stuff. So I'll check the comments, the live chat one more time, and if there's nothing for me, I'm going to bounce and come back ready to make something. Oh, cool, man. I'm glad you learned. That's great. That's what we're here for. And if there's anything else you want me to touch on, just let me know, and I can talk about it some more. So I'm gonna come back. If you guys aren't busy, come on back. Peace, everybody.